In this video, we're just going to check in for a second and see what's going on with Bitcoin. And I just thought it would be good to do this because a lot of people are freaking out because of what seems to be, kind of an unexpected pullback. Today we're down on today's percentage is down almost 5%, but our overall pullback from the top that we just hit on Saturday was about 11%. And so a lot of people are freaking out. There's a lot of FUD, and I'll give a shout out here to @AlanAU11 on Twitter. He's a great follow. Gave this really nice thread on the FUD and some of the things that are going on in relation to this this correction. So go ahead and give AlanAU a follow. And so I just want to kind of show you what's going on in my chart. So I have right here, you can kind of see I have this blue box. That goes back to some research that I've done on Bitcoin. Every 111 days or so, Bitcoin has some kind of near-term peak. And, so it kind of happened around this time. So, and then after the blue box, you kind of have another upswing, and then you get to a peak before having usually a 30% pullback. So the blue boxes indicate around the time at which a 30% peak will happen. And so this one worked out basically within that range. Okay, so that's the reason the blue box is there. But I have this green box here. And the green box I consistently adjust because this is a buy zone. And the reason why is because if you take an info line and drag it down to about 30% to 40%, you have to be aware and ready at any time in Bitcoin's bull cycle for it to have a 30% to a 40% pullback. It's very normal. We had one right here back, at the beginning of the new year, lasted all the way down. I mean, I think its bottom was late January, and it didn't make new all-time highs until the beginning of February. So it's pretty normal for those prolonged 30 to 40% pullbacks to take anywhere from 30 to 60 days to fully consolidate before making new all-time highs. So this green box is here because, and I move it frequently, depending on what Bitcoin's price action is, because I want to always be prepared for 30 to 40% from the top, from the most recent top. So I just moved because of the price action that happened, and we made a new all-time high. So I've adjusted my buy zone up to accommodate this high. Now, am I expecting it to drop down into this green box? No. Am I expecting it to get close? No. We're not even a third of the way there yet. But you always have to be prepared for the possibility that could happen. Okay. Now, what's going on here? The trend is still up, right? To put this into perspective, we're still remotely close to the previous all-time high from late February, around February 21st, looks like. We're still pretty close to that. We're not far off. So people freaking out, you're just going to get shaken out, right? And even as we speak, Bitcoin has almost retraced almost a percentage since I started recording. So Bitcoin is doing fine, okay? But you always have to be prepared for this to happen. Now, if Bitcoin did hit this, then I would consider it to be part of a double, or maybe we would call it a triple pullback. And if it dropped below, then I would start getting really concerned. But even if it drops into this region, how many people only bought Bitcoin since the new year? If you've only bought Bitcoin since the new year, you're still way up, even in the midst of these pullbacks. So you always got to be prepared for that. Okay. Now I have this red box. I'm gonna have to turn my auto off for a second so I can scroll up here. I have this red box, and I'm hesitant to change it. I mentioned in one of my weekly updates why this red box is here, because you can have anywhere from behind on the heels of any pullback, whether it be a small 10 to 20% pullback or even getting to the 30 to 40% pullback, price action after a pullback can go anywhere between 40% higher to 200% higher. But the average is about 100 to 150% higher. And this goes back the last 2 cycles. Anytime you had a large pullback, that would be the range that you would get. Now, the reason I'm hesitant to change where this red box is because we didn't have another 30% plus pullback right here in late February into the beginning of March. It was only in the 20s, in the mid 20s. And so I'm hesitant to move this red box. So what does this mean? If you go from the low in this consolidation to where we just peaked out at in our new all-time high, it was 116%. Okay? That means that we're well within range of another 30% pullback. So would I be surprised to have a 30% plus pullback? No. And so you just got to be prepared for that to happen. Now, some people are saying, well, since we had this mid-20s percentage pullback and that we've now resumed up, that it means that we're going to have, 100% gain before our next big pullback, which would put us somewhere in the mid 80,000s, around 86,000. Maybe a lower end estimate would be around 70,000. That would be about a 60% increase from the low, from the 25% pullback. I don't know. I'm hesitant to move this box. The price action over the next few days will tell us what we need to do. It is perfectly normal after a breakout, to new all-time highs, that we would have a period of time here where we come back down and retest some kind of support. We don't have any proven support up here because we've only hit this all-time high once. And I've got this cloned trend line from our prime trend line from the start of the bull market, but that's still not even proven support. We do have some pretty good support around this range. You could see that it held. And so I'm looking for that to hold, but it is possible that we could fall into this green box, or at least get close to it. Always be ready for your downside risk. If it does come down in here, this is a good buying opportunity to accumulate more. If you're trading GBTC, maybe this would be a great place to buy back into GBTC if you've sold, if it falls back down here. But the risk is to the upside. So you just have to be aware that you might miss it. If you're waiting for it to come back down here, you're going to miss it. If it resumes off, it's possible. So the best thing to do is buy and hold, and then if you do get these large pullbacks, then to add more. Bitcoin is too volatile, I think, and you never know, just because the markets are cyclical and markets echo, doesn't mean that it's going to do it exactly the same way. So because of Bitcoin's volatility and because it's not entirely predictable, I don't recommend continuing to try to sell tops, like near-term tops, and then buy the dips. I recommend just holding, and then if you have the capital to purchase more, then do it. And ride this thing out all the way till it gets to its peak. Anyway, thanks for watching. If this was helpful and reassuring to you, hit the like button, subscribe. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. Have a great day.